Everyone, how are you doing today? So I thought I would give you one more video, frankly, before I head out and work out today. And that is 10 things I've learned while investing in real estate during a crisis. This is my second crisis. I certainly hope it turns out to be shorter than the last one. I don't see it going that way given forbearance and all the different pieces coming, but let's hope. You know what? Let's just be real. I don't think it's going to be shorter, but I also don't think it will be as deep, right? The last financial crisis was very much real estate oriented, and we saw prices collapse. For the most part, I do not see real estate, at least single family homes, collapsing anywhere near what happened last time. I certainly believe retail office is in for trouble, will certainly be more impacted than last time. But when we talk about what's on this channel, right, one rental at a time, I believe most markets outside the Bay Area, outside LA, SoCal, outside New York, will fare reasonably well. If any price deterioration, we're talking single digits. So again, I don't see the kind of collapse like last time. So that should hopefully be good news. But I did find 10 things when I sort of thought back to what I've learned in the last crisis and what has already started today. So I thought I would share those with you. Let me know which one, hey, if you don't agree with one, let me know. If you think of some things I've missed, love to hear it. Always can do better. So first and foremost, about the sellers. Unlike stocks, where the price is just always there and always assumed to be that number, that second, that millisecond, sellers of real estate, specifically homes, remember yesterday. My neighbor got X, my neighbor got Y, I want Z, right? It's just very telling. Sellers will always remember what I call yesterday. Pretty much the only sellers that don't remember yesterday are banks. And that's why you saw price deterioration accelerate in 2010 because they were the dominant sellers in the market. They had no, zero, nada emotional attachment to that house or that property. It was a line on a spreadsheet to them. But when you're selling it, when it's your house, it's yours. You remember yesterday, and thus are very reluctant to drop prices. So prices fall very slowly. Next, scared money exits early. Scared money exits early. Back in January, real estate investing was almost back to kind of 2005 frothiness. And we talked a lot about it on this channel. And I was like, ooh, I'm nervous. Be careful, especially in multifamily, right? Once the bad news hit, lots of money exited the system. And let's be clear, money, right? We all know the lending changed overnight. A lot of that was kind of quasi hedge fund money, right? They were the ones that were funding the 90% of purchase, 100% of repair loans for lots of flippers, right? Once they realized they couldn't sell that paper and keep that machine, that assembly line going, they stopped. Full stop, right? I now have heard of loans that were supposed to fund on a Friday that never got funded, right? They were waiting, literally waiting, and they stopped it. So scared money exits quickly. And this is new investors sometimes are scared money, right? They've been following all the good news, bad news, and they're like, nope, not going in, right? So scared money leaves quickly. Business models fail when you rely on lending. This was very, very true in kind of the 05, 06 environment, but even more true today. There were lots and lots of companies, traditionally flippers, maybe you were doing a hotel, that relied on short-term financing because you didn't have cash. So you relied on some external company, you paid 3 points, 90% of purchase, and you had a 1 year term. I don't know what it was, but when your business model relies on that and that money disappears, you're out of business. That's the reality of where we are. So when you build a business model that is reliant on an easy lending market, I've seen it happen twice now. You're going to be surprised. That is going to go away when the market turns. So do your best uh, as you grow and you gain success. Start looking for partners, start looking for private money, whatever you can do. Because if you stay attached to that lending market, you're in trouble. I know of several companies that relied on one lending structure and it was really easy for them, right? Oh, no problem. Send them the address, the escrow number comes in. They did 40, 50 transactions with these lenders. Gone overnight. Stop lending. Now they're stuck. So be careful. Uh, Kind of under the same umbrella, but even bigger, is lending changes overnight. When lenders get scared, they can make broad changes in a snap of a fingers. And it'll catch you by surprise if you're not paying attention. Lending drives real estate. It certainly drives real estate transactions. And for the most part, I have seen a correlation to price. When lending gets easier, prices go up. When lending gets harder, prices go down. If you sort of connect those two dots and you start looking at it and tracking it every day as you're in this business, you will see what I'm talking about. And we've already seen big companies not only stop entire lending programs, they have raised standards on conventional loans, credit scores, down payment. Yes, real estate is a borrowed money business. And you're right, make offers based on your cost structure. Absolutely correct. But now they're also changing equity lines. A lot of folks the last 3 weeks are, oh, I'm going to get an equity line. I'm going to use that as my seed money because lending stopped. Well, that has now been turned off by Chase and Wells Fargo just yesterday, and likely many, many, many others. This one might be counterintuitive, but it's true. It's already happening for me, and it happened for me back in the last crisis. Is private money is actually relatively easy to raise if you are a proven operator, documented history, been communicating for a long, long time, and you have a program that is beneficial to the lender. But think about that statement. You've got to document what you're doing. You've got when the times are good, document, 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 document. So that when these environments turn up, which now we've had two in the last 20 years or 12 years, I guess, you can show people that you are an operator that knows what they're doing. And oh, by the way, do yourself a favor and create a program that incents the private investor, frankly, more than you, right? You need them more than they need you, right? So private money is actually easier, at least it has proven easier for me to raise in a bad environment because the proven operators fall over. Other operators cause private money to lose money. Lots of limited partners going to lose their entire equity position in this market, where I raise debt, not equity, and there is a difference. So again, next time, document, 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 so that you can leverage private money in your business. I've been saying this one for a while. It was kind of my thesis for 2019. I'm just happy to say I was right. Bigger isn't always better. It was absolutely better in 08, 06. Absolutely. There's no question. Right? 2010, awesome. Bigger was better. I am so happy to be right in 19. I am so happy I told you over and over and over again that my calculations say single family homes are better investments. And I am very happy to have sold 3 or 4 apartment buildings. So it is going to be true for a while. I think bigger isn't better for 3 to 5 years. I think there's a fundamental change that makes single family homes better, even as rentals. Next up, kind of on that topic. Yes, thank you. It wasn't easy. People are making fun of me. Consumer behavior has changed. And that is something that I pay very, very close attention to. It's kind of why I look every day and I try to piece these different parts of the puzzle together, because consumers are my big competitor and they're my customer. I see a growing change away from apartments to houses. This is not only owner occupants I'm talking about, I am talking about rentals. He who last best. I love that. So again, I believe there's a fundamental change away from apartments. I believe this will start slowly, but will build. People would rather double up in a house than be in a small apartment if there's a risk of another one of these lockdowns. Um, Good for you. I believe that was the right thing to do. I don't know what market you're in, but that's, yes, go against the herd. Absolutely. So again, houses good. Section 8 good. If you follow my track record, I have 35% of my income comes from Section 8. I'm sure the money's there today, if not yesterday. But again, back to the point, consumer behavior is changing. I believe single family homes will be a better investment for the next 5 years or so. And I have data, rent collection. Rent collection, I think this was CoStar put this out. Rent collection in houses fell 5% nationally last month. So March, no, April, sorry, April. Man, we're in May already. Crazy. Well, apartment collection was down 22%. Again, this is a national number. But think about that difference. That means people fight to pay rent in a house where they're like, apartments are everywhere. I'll wait for the landlord to kick me out. That's real. And then in my portfolio, I've had a couple of vacancies recently. My houses fill up seemingly in 24 hours with multiple applications. People want yards. It is so much easier to shelter in place where you can go kick the kids outside. Oh, absolutely. Rent strikes will absolutely backfire. Absolutely. No question. Another thing that's important, I haven't really talked about because I don't like to brag or see that. Sorry, where are we? You guys back? Sorry about that. I had a phone call from my title company. I have a couple of escrows going on. That's actually what we're going to talk about next is pride of ownership rentals are still selling fast. I don't normally talk about or kind of brag about stuff, but we had a couple of properties come up right at the beginning of April and they sold within 24 hours. Right around 150 grand, right around $1,000 rent, completely remodeled, new floors, kitchens, baths, paints, all the stuff you've seen on my channel. They're still selling fast. People still want them. These are investors, not owners. So they're putting 25, 30% down. They're getting about a 6.5% yield. Still selling. I came on this channel probably 3 weeks ago saying I'm building inventory. So I have 3 other projects in flight. I was originally not going to list those until the summer. I might list them now and just see what people want. So that is interesting. And then lastly, so many people, new investors, talk about real estate numbers, like headline numbers, and they don't understand the context. For example, in my market, I had somebody call me the other day and say, wow, listings are up. And I'm like, okay, well, let's have this conversation. What do you mean? Well, this, that, and the other thing, listings are up 13% from last week. All right. Good for you knowing that number, but what's really going on? Let's peel that apart. And really what's happening, because again, I look every day, is you have builders throwing on inventory left and right. And then you have the high end days on market expanding. So what you're seeing is houses below 200K flying off the shelf, just flying. But things above 250, staying and staying and staying, and you have new builders. So yes, you can technically say listings are up 12% week on week. That means nothing because the market is so bifurcated today. So in the end, know your numbers, learn your market, understand what a bad, average, good, and great deals are, watch lending. Scared money doesn't make money. I really do believe single family homes are the place to be for the next 5 years because I really think there'll be a rotation out of apartments. Bigger isn't better. Really glad we made that call in 19. So let me know what you think. Those are the 10 things I've learned. But what did you find? What do we got here? Yes, no alligators. Oh, yeah. Bay Area. Yeah, Bay Area is tough. All alligators everywhere in the Bay Area. All right, everybody, take care of yourself. Enjoy your Friday, all right?